Guru Nation, listen, you are watching this. Let me tell you, for those of you who want to play Blues Clues at home, it is
Blues
July
Clues.
8th, July 8th, 2025, right? For those
Good.
watching in the future, hi. Hope Bitcoin's a million.
You mentioned Blues Clues and your background's all blue. All right,
There you
continue.
go. July 8th, 2025. Chris is promoting something from March 2025. He's promoting the past,
The
but
past is good.
the three words on the top is what is important. Save our sites, save our sites, save our sites. It is going to be actually March 2026.
That's right. So
And
we're close
you're
here. We're
close. You just
close.
like if you follow
One
Alcoa
number.
dash C, you
One
gotta
number's off.
cross out that five, put a six, initial and date next to it,
There you go.
and then you're good. Actually, that should be your background. You need to do that and use that as your background. I'll do it
All
for
right.
you.
In about another month. So this has
Okay.
got to be well established.
Now we just gotta roll with that. I gotta tell Ashley too. But anyways, speaking of saving our sites, we are very excited that there have been a lot of newer sites emerging, sprouting from the dirt like little seedlings that they are. And they're starting to form some leaves. And not all of them are weeds. Some are actually formidable, soon to be formidable plants.
So the leaves are anecdotal to what?
The leaves are anecdotal to like maturity and ability to produce.
Okay.
So eventually, but there are some little seedlings there, and there are some people still thinking about planting seeds, which is what, in all seriousness, SOS is part of what it's about. It's attracting more people to site ownership, and these CROs are laying off CRAs. And I have a really good podcast coming up, not with Daniel. I'm doing this one in the car, but it's site owners are initially or generalists, which includes site owners, were initially made from concentrate. And I'm using the analogy of concentrate juice, and
Hmm.
like that's like a coordinator or a CRA where you're very hyper specialized, very dense. And once you establish that density, you could water it down and make pitchers of juice, right? And that means consultant, that means site owner, that means a whole lot of stuff.
And
And you
we did a
can,
video on, sorry,
yeah,
we did a
no,
video on this not too long ago
not too
about
long
also
ago.
you're protected too from upcoming
A
technological
lot, a
advances. Yeah.
lot. But speaking of tech, it would be nice to get an AI to scour clinicaltrials.gov, wouldn't it? And automatically email people from
That
clinicaltrials.gov.
that would be nice. Very
Somebody
nice.
work on this. For all you AI people, somebody need to do this. But anyways, we got asked a question from one of these little seedling sites. How do we use clinicaltrials.gov? And
Hmm.
I must confess, it's been a minute. I know Chris likes the use of that word.
Well, in your case, a minute would represent what, 2 or 3 years?
Maybe four.
Yeah, that's hardly a minute.
Maybe 4 years. Well, let me not share screen. This is important for emphasis. The reason I don't even bother is because I am a client of DSCS.
Ah, this is true.
And my site gets studies because of what our site consulting services do. And so instead of going through all this grunt work, which you guys are going to see is grunt work, I get it curated, distilled. And then I just hit forward because you know my nickname, Chris, King of
Yep.
Forwards.
King of delegation.
I'm King of Forwards.
You like that
So
better?
yeah, that's my favorite button on the
I
on
I
the
I,
inbox.
I like delegation Dan.
Okay, we'll go with that one. I like King of Forwards. Maybe next SOS I get that t-shirt made. I'm gonna tell Daniel about it. He's in charge of merch. But I send a list that we get from DSCS. These are potential studies looking for sites. Send it to Luis or Katie, and then they look. I give them, look what a nice boss I am. I don't care which ones you guys pick. Just make sure the PI can actually enroll whichever ones you guys want. That's it. I don't say go email all of them and give me a report on what you did and who replied. No, you guys pick. We have enough studies now. You guys choose what you like and make sure the PIs can enroll. That's it. So That's a byproduct of our product of our service. Then when we get the study, which we have a fee right now that Chris just negotiated the budget, that's all for a low monthly fee, month to month. So that's it. That's our
Mhm.
little plug. I don't know what I missed or what extra color you want to add.
So in Dan's situation, uh, so I'm just gonna add a little bit of, I guess,
Context.
context.
Context
Yeah,
matters.
sure.
In a hyper
So
political world, context
Dan
matters.
Dan's in a great area for research. So
Right.
that's very helpful.
Yeah.
Um, Many are not in such a great area,
Hmm.
but would like still do research, and you can. It's just your odds of being successful are diminished depending upon competition and other factors. Unfortunately, this
Hmm.
is true in all businesses. Um, but Dan has gotten for sure the first study or two that Dan at his site got was through DSCS. And once you have a study or two, that generally opens up the floodgates for a research naive physician, I would say. Would you not agree?
Yes.
You
Once
have
you
to get a
have,
study or two.
and that's where Inato actually comes in. They're a sponsor of this
Yeah,
podcast.
they're wait. They're horrible for research naive though.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Exactly. And
Yeah.
Inato comes through on the after that part.
Hmm.
So Inato's a proud sponsor of this podcast and of SOS. But you need to get that experience for your PI, not just the PI, honestly, your staff too. And
Yeah.
Nato vets your coordinators, they vet your sub-Is. So you need to really have a good amount of experience before you get on something like a Nato because otherwise, you're just applying to things that you're not going to really have a chance of getting. But there are tools, like to your point, once you build up some experience, it becomes a lot easier to get studies. A
Hmm.
lot easier. It's really
Yep.
those first 2 years, you just gotta get through it as a site owner.
Yep.
Just get through those 2 years, and then the industry becomes very forgiving, is
Unless
what
you
I
make an
think.
absolute horrific mistake, then not so
Yeah.
much. But
And
outside
then,
of
then,
that,
or if you end up on a fraud pod episode with me and Darshan
yeah,
reading your warning letter. And Darshan's brutal. He'll put the names out there and everything of the people. I mean, they're out there in public, but so,
sure.
we try to get one of these PIs that are a subject of fraud pod on the show, but they refuse.
Yeah, I would imagine. Go figure.
I'm still waiting, but I'm still hopeful.
You might
Uh,
get one who wants to sue Darshan.
but anyways, we got asked, how to use clinicaltrials.gov.
We did get
And
asked that,
quite honestly, it's not a bad tool to use when you're starting out because you've got nothing to lose. So here I am on it.
except for time.
I mean, it is a lot of grunt work. But if you don't have a study, if I open a site and I don't have a study, I'm on here. I'm
Yep.
not doing these podcasts, even if I'm a client of DSCS, because it doesn't happen right away. And so, like, I don't know, what's hot right now? Obesity?
Mm,
Obesity's pretty hot.
Psych's doing pretty well.
Yeah, but
GI,
that's boring. We always do say, let's just do obesity.
GI's doing well.
Let's just go obesity. I would pick United States. Yeah, United States, because you don't want to get worldwide from here. And then recruiting and not yet recruiting. Because if you do all studies, it's going to show you everything ever. It's going to show you things that are closed. But if you do recruiting and not yet recruiting, they're like ongoing or soon to be ongoing.
Yep.
Then you hit search, and then there's some tricks. And, the NIH used to control a lot of research. I think you're going to see a lot of academic stuff still. But let's go. Once you do this for a while, you start recognizing what's an industry sponsored trial versus what's not. Like this one looks like an industry sponsored trial to me. This one I'm hovering over because it has like an actual IP number in it, and the title looks more like something like one of our clinics would do, as opposed to the very first one I saw here. This looks more like one of those holistic studies where like it says redefining BMI, body mass index, to
So
body, mind, and inflammation. But just to prove, maybe I'm wrong, I will click it. And then I will see the sponsor. is Virginia Commonwealth University. So first sign that this is not, they don't want anything to do with you. And if you go all the way down, you'll see it's one location. This study ain't designed for 50 sites. So if you email poor Morgan over here, I mean,
Mhm.
we should probably call her like live on the show.
Oh yeah.
Or
She'd
poor
love that.
Jessica.
She or he would love that.
Yeah, you email one of these people, or God forbid, call them or blow up their texts. Like you're getting reported as harass, abuse. Like you shouldn't be doing that. These poor
So
people are working their ass off. Last thing they want to do is hear from a site owner, "Hey, can we do your study?" No, dumbass. Did you not see it's
it's
only
an ac
one site?
it's an academic study.
Right. Now,
And
we had to get that out because Chris and I we've gotten asked people on the other side of these calls, "Hey, why are all these people calling?" And I'm sorry,
mhm.
Morgan and Jessica. There's going to be people that don't listen and are going to call you specifically.
Well, let's add a little context. So for
Sure.
those
And then
who
I'll
are
click on this one because I think this one looks like a real one.
better
Yeah.
result.
Yeah.
But for those who are very new to clinicaltrials.gov, the purpose of this site is not to help you get studies or to put you in contact with those who are running the study. The purpose of this website is for patients, right? So
That's right. That's
it
right.
says here looking for participants, right over in the
That's
left-hand
right.
column.
That's right.
You scroll down a little, Dan, right here, it has the two checked off looking for participants. They're looking for people who want to
Right.
participate
Right.
in the study.
So
And
like
then,
Jessica and the other one, Morgan, they want to hear from patients in Richmond.
yep.
They don't want to hear from a site owner in Boise that's trying to make an extra buck because he got laid off as a CRA,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like,
Yep. Yep. These are specifically designed for patients only, but it is a nice tool when you're starting out
yeah.
to use to try and get studies because
And
you
then
have no other means.
if you click on the industry one, like this one, I think I haven't prepared. We haven't prepared. This actually Karma. I think I actually have this study. But
Really?
yeah, I mean they have several protocols and I haven't memorized the number, but we're working with this sponsor. But
Let's see. I'm gonna check the folder right now. Let's see if you have
okay,
it.
yeah, check. But this is more what you're looking for because if you look, so you see the sponsor is not a university, okay? And then if you look further, this study has 57 locations. That's a good sign. And actually, we can see Arizona. So I don't have this exact study. We just did our SIV yesterday. So there is no site in Arizona. I think we have a sister protocol of this. And a lot of these big sponsors, they're doing like multiple arms of protocols. But I am working with this sponsor and this indication. So maybe they just haven't updated their ct.gov
You,
to have Arizona
you
yet.
okay?
I don't know if this is the one I have or not.
Like, who's the sponsor?
Carmot Roche.
Okay.
And I don't want to share my Creo because then everyone's gonna see. But I think we might have this, and it's just not updated yet with our Yuma site here. But basically, this is exactly what you want. Now you keep scrolling. If you remember that previous example, you saw Jessica and Morgan's emails. You're not always going to get that lucky. And the bigger sponsors hide their or mask their emails with like a catch-all box that's made for study volunteers. I wouldn't waste my time with emailing that one. But I will tell you, and this one doesn't even have a place to contact. So if you're a patient, and this one even has some sites in Mexico. That's really cool. This one doesn't have a contact. Oh, see, they hid it. So the phone number is like a call center, and then this email is it's like a catch-all email. It's not a particular person. And you will see this a lot from the big companies, Genentech, Roche, Lilly, Pfizer. They're not putting like poor Jessica or poor Morgan, who you saw earlier, from Virginia Commonwealth, they don't have a call center or a catch-all box. They have like the actual coordinators, right? So,
So
so with
what
that
do you
one, you
do?
move on. You move on.
But what do you do in that situation? So you're highly interested in the study.
If I want this one, okay, so here's another thing I would do that this one wouldn't let me do because, well, actually, this one would. So sometimes if you see the site locations, right,
Hmm.
this one actually names them. A lot of these big sponsors hide the names of the sites too. So like Yuma
Hmm.
Clinical Trials in Arizona, this one once it's updated, if this is indeed our study, I truly don't know. It would say Arizona location, Yuma Clinical Trials. So you can Google Yuma Clinical Trials and try to find like me or use LinkedIn and try to find somebody from that site and just contact them there and say, hey, I noticed you guys are working on this particular Roche study. I'm a site owner in Boise. I would love to like make connections with you and share study leads. And you could do this. Like Orange County has one in Lake Forest. So I can
I would
just
also
Google these people.
I would also add on LinkedIn, you can actually search for a contact for the sponsor as well.
You can, but this sponsor is very big, so it'll be harder.
Do you think so? Like a medical
Yeah,
liaison?
yeah, back like if so that's a second option. So the first option would be I hope I recognize one of these site owners from SOS or like maybe a colleague. This is why networking is important. I actually do recognize some of these sites. Some do come to SOS. So I would try to find it that way because you're gonna get a better, like quicker result. But you can, like Chris said, I wouldn't even use LinkedIn for this part yet. But if the sponsor is Roche, or in this case Carmot, but it's actually Carmot Roche, because if you look at the email, it's both. Like this was a merger, Genentech, Roche, Carmot. I would ask your PI or any doctors, do you have any sales reps come from any of these companies to your office? And they're gonna say, "Well, I don't know. Let me ask the front desk because the front desk know because the front desk know who's bringing sandwiches and who's bringing coffee. They may not know what companies, but they throw. When I did this at my site 4 years ago, I asked the front desk, "Who's the Janssen and Janssen rep?" And the lady literally went in the recycle bin to like look through the business cards she threw away
Mhm.
of the reps. And she was like, hold on, which one? And then she was looking and she did find one. She's like, here we go. We just throw them away. And I said, okay, well, I need this one. And then I called, I asked that rep, give me the medical science liaison because Dr. So and so is doing research and we really want this study. And it takes a few weeks, but the medical liaison will get a hold of you. If not, you need to follow up with that rep and you plant seeds. You're not going to get this study for like a year using this route I just suggested. But if you do this every day, like this was just one study so far, right? Now you go back, let's see what else we got. So let's find another one that looks industry focused. Remember the keys are find a IND number like this. So far, none of them have it. None of them have it. None of them have it. So I'm gonna keep going. None of them, none of them, none of them. These one all look like academic studies. Let's keep going. I will find an IND number. All right. Investigational new drug. Inspiratory muscle strength training. See, you're not gonna get this. This is like some physical therapy thing. But you keep going. Here we go. Here we go. You see this? And I kid you not, Chris, I think we have this or a similar one of this one. Because the
Nice.
drug and the sponsor, this is Lilly. And that drug is like one of their newer products, retatrutide, and we are doing now. Lilly does dozens of studies per IND, so it's unlikely we have this exact one. But again, we'll find out in the locations. Let's go. So, and see, Lilly's smart too. They're not. They're gonna be the ones masking their. This is a general catch-all inbox. Now, this is not the one we have because we're not on here. And this one we did have our SIV already. Uh, doesn't look like Brad has this one either because that's a different Oklahoma site. But I do know some of these sites on this list. So again, with Lilly, with Pfizer, with Roche, you're not gonna get. But when you call the rep, call your Lilly rep, hey, who's the MSL? Then when you talk to the MSL, you don't just sound uninformed when you talk to the MSL. You don't say, hey, I want studies. You say, hey, we're doing studies with Dr. So and so. What about your retatrutide trial? Can we get in on any of those? And then they'll tell you, yes, we do have one for maybe it's diabetes with weight loss for people with cardiovascular outcomes. Like they'll give you random stuff. But let's keep going because two examples so far have been really big pharma. And what you want are a real pharma company, but not big to where they have the sophistication of hiding their emails. Like you, you want to actually find a poor guy or gal like Robert Goldman who's on the other end of this. So you want, he's a friend of the show, and he'd be very thrilled that we're teaching people how to do this, Chris. Um, Here's one. This looks like a real one because of that uh, drug number, and it looks like a smaller sponsor, Cork Cell. We might be onto something. Chris, we might fuck around and find another study for YCT here. I mean, in these 20 minutes, I'm gonna be emailing these people. So let's see. Can we so far there's a coordinator. There's a phone number. So it looks like another catch-all. So no. And there is a site in Arizona, Inglewood. Inglewood, always up to no good. 310 Clinical Research. Are they a client? I think they sound familiar. Then a
310.
bunch in
Wait,
Miami.
310 clinical research? I don't think I've ever heard
310,
of
like
them.
the area code. 310.
Oh,
Velocity. So this is a real study. It's just unfortunately you get a phone number and it looks like an email that's a catch-all. So I don't like those. I usually like my emails to be first name dot last name at something because then they're not hiding. In this case, once they filter out that you're not a patient and you're an annoying site, they probably block your email, honestly. Um, so don't email those things. Don't email those ones. Uh, let's see if we can find more, man. Actually, I haven't done this in a while. Maybe we'll find a study. It's grunt work, I'm telling you. Chris is bored. He's probably over there checking his emails. Um,
um, you would be right, Dan.
yeah, Chris, like, not even on this podcast, really. He's just here.
I'm listening. I'm
No, no,
listening.
I know, but my point is it's very boring. It's grunt work.
It is.
It's so boring. You've checked out mentally already. Chris will be back. Wake him up when we get a study and he has to do the budget, then wake him up. But right now, Chris can still sleep. Hold on. We're gonna get something, Chris.
I'm not sleeping.
I'm on page 10 already and I haven't found anything. This should show you guys. All right. I'm about to switch from obesity to something else because I'm getting discouraged. And if I were a new site owner with a $5,000 a month rent, I'd be borderline getting depression right now. I'd be looking at depression studies, and if I can't find a study, put myself in one of the clinics. Okay, let's keep going. This must be like must-watch TV for the people at home. But they ask, Chris, they ask, we have to deliver. If they ask,
This
this is
is
the last
true.
thing, kind of one of the last videos I wanted to do, but now I won't stop till I find me a study. So that's just how I am. I don't like anything I've seen so far. I probably missed a few. I'm gonna go to page 13 and that's it, and then I'm gonna switch to something else. Lucky number 13. Here we go. This one's an MRI one. We're having issues with that. No, that looks like a one site study. They're testing a machine. So they're not gonna give you that. Ugh, it's not looking very good. All right, what else, Chris? Other condition. It's all on you, man. Give me a
Well,
disease, a medical condition.
we have a cardiologist that needs some studies.
All right, let's go atrial fibrillation.
Why not just
Eh,
cardiology and get
it won't, it
everything?
doesn't work.
No,
You can't do like, it needs to be a condition. Remember, it's for patients.
this is true. Yeah,
I can do AFib. You want me to do AFib?
sure. I think for this actually for this video, hypertension might be a good one just because
All right,
everybody wants that.
hypertension. All right, so far this looks like some device that's not good. Nothing's been good so far. I'm going pretty quickly through here. Hmm. I need to see a drug number. That's really what I'm looking for is a drug number, an IND number. So let's keep going. Here's one. This looks like Pfizer. I already know it's going to be masked, but let's just click on it for shits and giggles. So PF, see, Pfizer. If you guys know I've been doing this for real. I'm in the trenches with you. All right, we just graduated to like the second floor, but
So
we're not too far from the trenches.
so I got on clinicaltrials.gov myself, and you can search a therapeutic area.
And it
I
works?
ser yeah, I searched cardiology, and it came back with 3,000 not yet recruiting and 9,000 recruiting studies.
Holy crap. Okay, well, let me go back into cardiology. But this one, this is Pfizer. They're gonna mask their email for sure. But so I would go the MSL route again from your sales rep. Anaheim Clinical Trials, I know them. So if you know one of the sites, this doesn't look like that many sites, so it's not that interesting. So let's go back and do what Chris said. See, I never like to do that, but I guess it works too. I like to like Navy SEAL it. Like I want, my doctor said, give me a insomnia study. Can I do insomnia?
Probably, I would have.
He really wants a sleep
There you
study.
go. Do insomnia.
Or what's another one? He said two things. He told me two things. Sleep apnea. He really wants a sleep apnea. These are hard to get though. I think it's obstructive. Let's just put general because hopefully it catches everything. Here we go. This one has a drug. This one has some locations. Maybe it's a
So
one
and
of one.
so I
Shinogi. Shinogi? Please be a real human. Yes. Oh no, it's contact. Damn it. But it's the chief scientific officer's phone number.
so give him a call.
All right, let's call him live. Fuck it.
And just going
Let's see what
back
happens.
on the previous page, it was 141 total study returns. So obviously, sleep apnea, there's not a lot of studies out there for that therapeutic area. Um,
617 500
or indication, I should say.
8880. This is not gonna look like his cell phone or her cell phone. 500 8880. The things you do for views, man. Let's call this person. I'll try again. Hmm. So this would be one where if you go on LinkedIn and you find, see, it's bullshit. Okay, I'm not gonna leave a message, but what I would do, I would search this company on LinkedIn, Shinogi
Hmm.
AppNet, and then I would get name of top people there, and then call back with the directory. You can search by name and get routed to that person. So this would be actually, I'm gonna bookmark this for me to do. So this one, I'm gonna actually, they have California, Florida, Miami, Massachusetts, Minnesota. So yeah, no Arizona. So looking selfishly now, this one, I'm gonna send this one to myself. Let's download it. CSV, download. There's your tax dollars at work, folks. Your tax dollars at work. Okay, next one. It's clinicaltrials.gov, maintained by, I think it's the Office of Health and Human Services. I mean, how long you want to do this till we find one? We're getting really warm. We got like I got one I think I might actually have a chance of getting. Obstructive sleep apnea. This one might be good.
What you're gonna have to remember this, and if you do get it, you're gonna have to have an updated video.
No, no, but I downloaded the CSV. That's your tax dollars at work.
No, I understand all that. What I'm saying though is if you're actually awarded the study,
Aye, of course. This
you're
will be
gonna have
very
to do an
memorable.
update.
We'll do
That's
an
right.
update. I'll probably do with the SIV with the monitor. This one is Photonica. So this one looks like it's promising. But do you see, guys and gals, what I mean by grunt work? Like, this is not. Look, look, we got something. Two people, Rui Estanquiero and Terry Ward, and there are real sites. They're all in Florida, but they're all different companies in Florida. So I would call one of these people and be like, listen, do you want a site in Arizona? We got the sleep center already set up. We got experienced PI. Come on down. The water's warm, and I'll give you a tour. And we'll get some Mexican food while you come out here. And it might work. So here's one I might.
Well, that certainly wouldn't hurt.
Let's download this one too. Save, download. CSV. Let's download this one too. There. We won't stop till we get an email though.
Wait, you had two email addresses on that one.
But that, yeah. And that one, okay, so you want to stop? We can stop. Chris tapping out. It is grunt work, no?
Yeah,
Are you
you got to
feeling
do.
lucky on any condition? You want to like Navy SEAL it on something?
No, but I would say in order to have a realistic shot at getting a study this way, you need to do probably about 100 of these a week.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, if I had nothing going on right now, I would batch between 8 a.m. to noon every day. I can take breaks to go to the bathroom and get coffee, but I would do this and then send 10 emails a day because you saw
Yep.
how long it took to get just two, so
And
10 a day.
I believe you and I a long time ago did some testing on this. It takes about 100 emails, the right kind of emails, to get about four responses. You get about a
Yeah,
4% response rate.
yeah. So I'm with you, man. I'm done doing the grunt work right now, but I have homework assignment. So I'm gonna actually do what I said and contact these people and report back to Guru Nation. Most likely it's unremarkable, or in the analogy of research, non-clinically significant. But maybe
You,
something will come out of it.
you need to do 98 more to get a CDA. You got to do like 100 true emails to get one CDA.
Yeah. And then don't screw it up at your SSV and say some stupid shit.
Well, that's just the first step getting a CDA. Then you got to get
The
your
feasibility.
got to get that accepted. And that's
Then you
that's
do the feasibility.
that's the key
Then
point
they
of
come.
everything. Because
Then, so when you're new, you need a shoulder to cry on. That's where DSCS comes in because
well,
every
m
step is filled with perils.
more important than crying on a shoulder would be filling out that feasibility questionnaire, correct? Because
Yeah.
that's really the pivotal point in getting a study.
And we help with that.
Yep.
I mean, guys and gals, listen, the time is now to get serious about this. We're in a bull market. Biotech is back. Did you see that chart I shared on LinkedIn? I sent it to
I
you by
did.
text.
I did.
Biotech is back. We took a decade off. We are back. So get your act together and get on clinicaltrials.gov. It's your own taxpayer money put to work. And occasionally someone will get mad. Why are you emailing? Well, sorry, it's in the pursuit of science. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Not sure what Chris is trying to show us.
Trying to
The
show you
graph.
the chart.
I mean, not very aesthetically pleasing, but trust me, biotech is back. Bye bye.